Remember when this cave had caves? Remember when Skype messed up your volume? Remember when there was big monuments over here? Yeah, that was the time. Welcome back to the JFS Vanilla server. I am Flux, and today we're gonna have a look at a few different things. First off, I already recorded some of this, and my audio was messed up. I'm sure it's because I opened Skype once by mistake or something, and it messed up my recording volume, as it does screw it up to 100. So thank you very much. So in case you didn't know, you used to have some monuments here. This one I just had covered up with dirt, and well, I uncovered it for some reason. So this was a spawner, this was a skeleton, this was a creeper, this was a zombie, this was a chest, this was my UHC 10 monument, where I was running from mobs and Nixer. Well, he was my partner, but who wouldn't run from him, really? So I ran in here. Oh no, mobs, boom, and I died. Or I think I got shot by a skeleton. Who knows, really? Well, I used to have some big monuments here, and I kind of missed them. They didn't really fit with the reason I moved them. They kind of messed this place up, in my opinion. Therefore, I removed all the 10, 11, 12, 13 monuments. But now, da 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 da, the Red Scare is back. Well, the monument is back, better than ever, with a shield, a flag, and a paddle. Also, the beginning of a pant. It's not a full pant yet, but it is a pant. So I decided I have a lot of space between my places. I built the road, the one going out to Castle Frostbite, aka the Obsidian Mist, the one going out to the Republic, and the garden, which goes that way. So I think this is a perfect spot to have a little Red Scare reunion. And I will likely, depending on time, I'll continue making the other ones, redoing the... I think I'm gonna let the 10 one stay where it is. I'm gonna do 11 one is the pant one, 12 one Red Scare, 13 was an enchanting table with diamond boots. Well, maybe I'll redo that, or I'll see if I can find something else. I haven't done 14 and 15. That was after I tore them down, I think. So maybe I could do something with that. Maybe a shitty staircase. Who knows? So today, what my main focus is of today is a little place I would like to call the garden. Not just any garden. It's built, inspired by Final Fantasy VIII. What the hell? Where there was a place, a magical place, filled with fairies and pixies. Not so much, but seeds, which was a soldier. Oh, my light was broken. So that place was a magical place. No. There we go, back to new. Nothing ever happened. Yeah, I thought I'd finish that place, but I did some more. I might do some more. So, in this episode, I'm gonna spend some time going over the place and using some footage from Final Fantasy VIII, the stuff I can find and stuff. I don't know how much, because I don't think I have a lot of save games ready for it. Maybe at the beginning, I think so. So, this is my... Can we do something like this? This is my Balamb Garden inspired build. It's not a carbon copy, it's not a one-to-one, it's not something like that. It's supposed to be inspired by Final Fantasy VIII, Balamb Garden, and I think it did a pretty good job. It's the first build I've built that's of this size. This is the portal. So let's go over it. I actually, like, from the last time I showed this off, which is a long time ago, I built the rooms on the inside, which I've done recently. So this, also I've done some changes on the outside, but let's wait till afterwards, yeah. So we got the entrance, which kind of reminds me of the game itself to some degree, like in a limited form. I'll definitely say that this building in total could have been done a lot better now that I have the experience of actually building a lot of this stuff, because I definitely had some ideas how to improve stuff as I went along, but it was too much to be, so I had to tear a lot of things down to actually do what I would have wanted. The walls here are a bit too plain, just stone slabs all over, which could have been better, but yeah, you live and you learn, and I'm kind of happy with it anyways. This is definitely one of my favorite parts, and the one that actually looks closest to what the build itself looks like, in my opinion. So the inner circle here with the water going around. I was toying around with having there's like an information board of the areas around right here, but due to it being even and not uneven, it was kind of hard to fit it in as I wanted, so I decided not to have it anyways. Let's just take a quick look around. So it's based around this circular building, which has like, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rooms. It must be something like that. That goes out to each side, which represents some kind of place, each of them. Let's go over that. Hey, Squid, how you doing? So originally, like, I think I built most of that room, but we'll get to that when we get to that. So if we go to this direction, over here we got the light blue room. The light blue room is the library of the game, and I think it's a pretty good. It looks I guess I'm sure you can see somehow how it's inspired by it. So when you walk in the game, you would have this area where the librarian stands. There's kind of a like closet here, and then we got all the shelves with books and stuff. Over here you can actually walk in and it'll zoom in for the little area, but mostly it's just books and books everywhere. What you also would see in the game would be this kind of area, the seating area, where people would, well, the studying area, I guess. So I made this, kind of made the opposite over here. It's kind of a big room to do after what's actually in the game, but yeah, I think it worked out quite well. I'm kind of happy with it, definitely. Also, good cactus, praise be. So for the next magic trick, I'll show another room. I like it when it's dark in here. It comes off very nicely. So we got the library room, which is the training center in the game, and the training center is to fight monsters. Obviously, I don't want to fight monsters in here, and the room isn't really that big compared to what would be in the game. So I went a little creative with it. Again, it's not a one-to-one in any means. So I made it pretty, I think. A lot of trees and bushes and custom grounds. So like the entrance area you would have here, where you could where there's the two entrances, like in the game, go the left or right, and so you can go in here. That would be the training area itself. In the game, it's a much bigger area. It looks very different. I made some different kinds of trees going around, some I guess it's supposed to be like bigger rocks, like in the corners here. Kind of a wood log falling over, wood log over some water, more stone, some kind of tree thing. I like this area. I think it kind of works for me as what it's supposed to represent. So I definitely like that. For the next room, we're going to the next room. Surprise, surprise. Okay, so we got the yellow room, which is the garage. The garage is a very little area when you go into it in the game, so you don't see a lot. So what I did, I made like an area for like a parking guard or something, and I made a few parking spots with some cars. I'm not the greatest at cars, but I did what I could basically. So we have a red car, light blue or cyan. I can't really. I think it's cyan. Over here we got kind of a motorcycle, another motorcycle, and also we got like a Formula 1 car. Like these soldiers obviously would have a Formula 1 car. Who wouldn't? That's probably the boss. His car. He drives around in a Formula 1 car. Makes total sense. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, I think this turned out pretty well. For not really a lot happening in this room. There was a wall that kind of looked like this, that had some sign that said something. I used it to represent where the garage door would be. Obviously, this car needs to get out somewhere, so I built a little road on the outside, as you will see later. Actually, can you see it from here? No. So you'll see it later. Next up, we got the dormitory. The dormitory is obviously, and also if you look at the top-down picture of the Balamb Garden, it's a bigger area. But at this point, I wasn't really willing to expand anything, so I just wanted to finish up as much as I could. So I did it with the visible parts. Like I think this is supposed to represent like different dormitory areas where the different seat soldiers would have their rooms. So I built what I actually could see when you go down to the dormitory area. You have the little front room with a table and stuff, and then you got the two rooms which we got over here, which is pretty okay, with some beds, some coat hangers or something, armor stand stuff, and a little thing with things. I think this might be on the other side actually, yeah. But this would be Squall's room in the game. Did we ever find out who his roommate is? I don't think so. I don't think it's Cypher. Or might be Cell. I don't think it's Cell, no. I don't think it matters. Okay, on to the next one. Here we got the red one, which is the place where Cell Dinch comes in. Oh! You got hot dogs? You got any more hot dogs? The cafeteria says, no, we don't have any hot dogs. We're all sold out. Until it goes, stuff like that. I'm kind of happy with this place. So we got the cafeteria area up here. It's supposed to represent like the specials and the different stuff they have. We got some water, a refrigerator thing, and some furnaces, and a freezer thingamajig, I think I decided it was. I know these banners were kind of hanging off over here in the game, but I decided to put them over there. I'm not sure what they represent. There's just a red, yellow, and green banner. I think if the game was in full 3D, I think you would probably have been able to move around and see, there's something on these banners, probably maybe some food or something, who knows. Up here there's the seating area, which you can also move to in the game. There's the kind of like a pillar, a round pillar. Minecraft is not round. Some nice seating areas. There's some windows. You have to jump to look out of in the game. Not in Final Fantasy VIII, but here. So I think I like this room. I think this works. Again, a lot of the rooms becomes a little too much stone slabs, but that's how it is. Oh yeah, this was supposed to be some kind of machine to get drinks or something. Doesn't work. For the next room, I think it's... Oh yeah, this is the quad in the game. This is where they would do theater and stuff, musical things, and I couldn't really get it to fit with how the room looked like or anything, so I just decided to make this very costume. So this, except the fact that there's a tree in the middle of the room you actually go into here, there's not a lot that actually would remind you of the actual room. So this is, so you could say it represents music and art and music and theater, the arts, and this is a very artsy room. That's how it turned out, at least. So here we got a concrete room of death. Yeah, you might wonder, what is this? Feel free to. So this represents going from day to night. You got the stars in the sky, you got the clouds in the sky, and a tree. Yeah, I'm not really sure what this is. I think this is mountains. But yeah, it's here. There's something in the room. Don't complain. Like, I couldn't really get what was supposed to be in there, so... I think I started with something and then it turned into that. That's how my brain works sometimes. Over here, I think I showed this off before because I kind of made most of this before, if not all of it. Here we got the medical quarters, where you got the reception desk. No, that's... I think that's actually where the doctor sits. Got stuff for like weighing and measuring how high you are, I guess. And the, what do you call them? The rooms for the patients, and this is supposed to be some kind of surgery room or something. Just a little desk and stuff like that. Yeah, not much else to look at in here. So definitely, I would say I'm very satisfied with how this turned out. Again, I never done a project this size before, and definitely learned something of it for sure. Up here we got the elevator. Actually, if you go all the way around, see, got the same kind of thing going around, and it's supposed to represent the elevator. The thing is, it's not really an elevator, it's actually just stairs going up, which works perfectly, I think. So here you would go in, this is the elevator, you press the button, boop. No. In here I had my storage room. I think I emptied this out at this point. But up here you would go to the first floor, which is in the game the classrooms. So you got a little bridge going out, you have them on each side. Got the classrooms in here. They kind of all look alike. Like in the game you actually come in from like over here somewhere. I think the classroom actually goes in that direction, if I look at it correctly. But yeah, again, it's not supposed to be one-to-one. So all these rooms almost look the same. I'm missing, forgot to put water in these. Okay. Got the hallway going around, and we got the same kind of rooms all over. The only differences might be a picture, and it might be the background of the wall back there. That wall is supposed to represent a monitor, so there would be stuff shown on it. And I was like, let's just throw some glazed terracotta up there. That kind of looks like something. Something it does look like. Not sure what. And then the next floor I haven't done anything with. I was considering like it should probably be some office thing or something. In the game, I think it's just like where they end up controlling it when this thing starts floating or flying or whatever you call it. And I totally forgot there was something up here. So I was like, oh, pretty dumbfounded when I looked at it. It's like, there's something up here, and do I have to build something here? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I would do anything in the top 2 rooms. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. It depends on the inspiration and on the time. It depends on when we're doing a reset. Definitely. So I might do some more, but I think this is mostly kind of done. And I definitely hope like the reset is soon anyway. So what I've changed around the place, it used to be white concrete going around in these stripes. I changed it to prismarine just to have more lighting, and it's almost like it's kind of like the same colors. The white and just the green, of course, so it doesn't make that huge of a difference. I made this shovel thing, the thing you do with a shovel, this path going around all the way around the building. I didn't do it on the 2 front ends, but all the way around I've added trees, and I was starting working on this area to have a little water bed, a custom tree, a little bench. I'm not really sure if I'll do too much to this. It would be cool to have a lot of stuff like benches and parks and bushes and stuff, but I don't necessarily not necessarily sure what to do with it. I'm not necessarily sure I'll be getting to that. Over here the trees are apparently still growing. Yeah. Okay, over here we got that this is the garage thing that goes the road and goes into this cliff. And we do a classic Looney Tunes, and it's just black back here. So the cars would actually run into the wall. And also, this road might actually not be big enough for the cars, but don't tell anybody. Oops. So basically, once again, I'll say I can. What are you doing, the tree pig? I am pretty much considering this done. Again, depending on when we do the reset, depending on my inspiration and stuff, I might do more to like the outside and the 2 upper floors, but more or less it's done and I'm happy about it. Definitely like a cool project to work on. I would have done a lot of things differently if I had to do it over, but that's how the cookie crumbles. So, yeah, I think that's what this will end this episode. We'll see what else is coming up in the next coming weeks and so. So, well, I'll see you in another video. I'm Flux, and I'm out.